Hello dear students. So in the last class we have seen how to find how the derivative represent the rate of change, and we have also done some problems of average velocity and instantaneous rate of change. Now here we will see that if suppose that the rate of change is negative, that is delta y. Suppose we usually take y as a function of x. So when x is an independent variable, y is a dependent variable. Delta x is the change in x and delta y is the corresponding change in y, which we denoted by f at x naught plus delta x minus f at x naught. Now suppose that the first quantity, that is f at x naught plus delta x, is less than f at x naught. Then what happens is this delta y will become negative. Okay, so if delta y is negative, delta y by delta x will become negative. So it means that when there is an increase in x, there is a decrease in y. Okay, when x is increasing, y will decrease. So delta y by delta x is negative, and hence it represents a rate of decrease. So instead of increase, we have rate of decrease there. So if delta y by delta x is positive, it represents rate of increase. And if delta y by delta x is negative, then its absolute value, okay, that is the rate of decrease. For example, if you got delta y by delta x as minus 2, then 2 is the rate of decrease. Now we will see one problem, so it will be more clear to you. So a reservoir contains 10 power 8 minus 10 power 4t minus 80t square minus 10t cube plus 5t power 5 liters of water at time t, where t is the time in hours from when the gates are opened. How many liters per hour are leaving the reservoir after 1 hour? So here it is given to be a function of time. It is a function of time. We can denote this by f of t. F of t is the amount of water flowing and time is given in hours. Okay. So how many liters will be liters per hour are leaving the reservoir after 1 hour? So we have to find after 1 hour what happens. So you can see that here as time increases, what happens to the flow? The amount of water will decrease, isn't it? As time at t equal to 1, suppose we have x quantity of water, then as time increases, the water is flowing out, so the amount will decrease. So here we will come across a rate of decrease. So you denote this by f of t, then rate of change of amount of water is nothing but its derivative. So we can differentiate it. So 10 power 8 is a constant, so its derivative will be 0. Minus 10 power 4t, its derivative will be minus 10 power 4. Minus 80t square, its derivative will be minus 80 into 2t, so which is minus 160t. And minus 10t cube, its derivative will be minus 10 into 3t square, so it will be minus 30t square. And 5t power 5, its derivative will be 5 into 5t power 4, so it will be 20t power 4. 25t power 4. Now at time t equal to 1, it is given, it is calculated in hours. So you have to simply put t equal to 1 in the derivative. So when you put t equal to 1 and you do the simplification, we will get it as minus 10,165. So since the minus sign is there, it represents rate of decrease, and rate of decrease, quantity by which it is decreasing is its absolute value, so it is 10,165 as liters per hour are leaving the reservoir after 1 hour. So here we came across a problem in which we have seen a rate of decrease. Now, so this can be applied to a particle also. Suppose that a particle at time t has a location x equal to f of t along a line. Okay. Now we know that average velocity, we call it by f of t plus delta t minus f of t whole divided by t. and the instantaneous velocity is the limit of the average velocity, and it is the first derivative dx by dt, which is f dash of t. Now we have seen that this f dash of t can be either positive or negative. So if the derivative is positive, and here function represent a movement of a motion of a particle along a line. So if the f dash of t first derivative is positive, then it represents a upward motion. It is moving upward. If the first derivative is negative, then it represents a downward motion. So this thing will be clear to you in the next example. So you see example 7. Suppose that x equal to 0 represent the level of the Golden Gate Bridge, and that x equal to f of t equal to 8 plus 6t minus 5t square represent the position of a stone at time in t seconds. A. Is the stone above the bridge, at the bridge, or below the bridge at t equal to 0? How about t equal to 2? B. Suppose that the average velocity during the interval from t0 to t0 plus delta t is negative. What can be said about height at time t0 plus delta t? C. What is the instantaneous velocity at t equal to 1? So here the problem, it is given that x equal to 0 represent the level of the bridge. Now x is given to be a function of t, and it represents the position of a stone at time in t second. So here t is the independent variable, 8 plus 6t minus 5t square. This is, so x is a function of t. T is the independent variable and x is the dependent variable. Okay. So the first one is what happens at t equal to 0. So when you put t equal to 0, in this equation, x equal to f of t equal to 8 plus 6t minus 5t square. When you put a t equal to 0, you will get x equal to 8. So x equal to 8 you are getting at t equal to 0. So it means that now the bridge represent x equal to 0 and the stone represent x equal to 8. It means that the stone is above the level of the bridge. Now what about at t equal to 2? So put t equal to 2 in f of t. So you will get at 8 plus 6 into 2, 12 minus 5 into 4, 20. So it becomes 0. It means that x is 0. That is position of stone is 0. And also we have the position of bridge is also 0, x equal to 0. It means that the bridge and the stone both are at the same level. Okay, so A part is over. Now B part is, suppose that the average velocity during the interval from t0 to t0 plus delta t is negative. What can be said about the height at time t0 plus delta t? So if the average velocity is negative, it means that the height will be at t0 plus delta t, the height will be less than the height at t0. Okay, because it is not increasing, there we have a decrease. So as time increases, this is decreasing. So earlier time was t0, then t0 plus delta t. But the average velocity is negative, it means the height is decreasing. So height will be less than at height at t0 plus delta t will be less than the height at t0. Third one, what is the instantaneous velocity at t equal to 1? Now instantaneous velocity is the limit of the average velocity and it represents the first derivative. So here you have x equal to f of t. So it's the first derivative is f dash of t, that is dx by dt. So here f dash of t is 6 minus 10t. So when you put t equal to 1, you will get 6 minus 10. So it is minus 4. Therefore, again you got negative quantity. It means that the instantaneous velocity is 4 meters per second downward. Okay, since the velocity is negative, it is downward. Okay, so this is mainly about the first derivative. We are mainly dealing with average velocity and the instantaneous velocity. So I think in the first module you will be studying in detail the first derivative, and in the second module we will mainly concentrate on the second derivative. So I think these topics are clear to you. Okay, thank you.